So welcome, thank you guys for coming along so early in the morning. My name's Lauren and I'm a marketing officer here at the Burwood Campus. Basically it's the job of myself and my team to head out, sometimes all across Australia, and chat to prospective students and their parents and careers advisors about the options that lie ahead for them at Deakin. So before I get started, can I just get a show of hands for the students in the audience? Is there anyone Year 9 or younger? No, Year 10 students? Yep. Year 11 and Year 12. Cool. And of those students, who knows exactly what they want to do when they finish high school? Who has absolutely no clue? And who sort of has an idea, but are you not really sure? Okay, cool. So we've got a fairly good spread across all of you, and all of those answers are perfectly okay. I hope that we'll be able to cover off some information and you'll all walk out of here with a bit more of an idea, or some sort of, at least have gained something from the presentation. So as I said, my name's Lauren. I also have Joy here. Can I get you to stand up, Joy? Joy's a student ambassador. She works for us, and she's also obviously a student. So can I get you to say a bit about what you do?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. As Lauren said, my name's Joy. I'm third and final year PR student. I'm studying the Bachelor of Arts Media Communications, majoring in PR, and I'm also sub-majoring in journalism and literature. Anything else?
No. Alright, so what we'll cover today is a bit about what Deakin can do for you, some pathways options. I'm also going to cover the application process, the VTEC application process, so that's really relevant for the Year 10s in the room, sorry, the Year 12s in the room, but for the Year 10s and 11s, might give you a bit of a chance to hear some lingo that you might be unfamiliar with and give you a bit of a grasp about what to think about in the coming years. Also going to give you a chance to answer any, ask any questions that you may have. So to start off with, just a bit about Deakin. So obviously you guys are here at the Burwood campus today. We also have 3 other campuses. We've got 2 down in Geelong, so at the Ponds and the Waterfront campus. There's also another one in Warrnambool. So the Burwood campus, we have 17,000 students approximately that come and study with us. We've got a huge range of courses that you can study here, from all of your sciences, arts, teaching, lots of different courses. Nursing, we offer nursing here as well, and sports sciences. The campus is obviously, as you know, located quite close to Melbourne. It's very accessible in terms of public transport. We've then got the Geelong Waterfront campus, and the Geelong Waterfront campus specialises in your OT courses and architecture, but they also have business and law, some arts courses and nursing as well. That campus has about 4,000 students at this stage and is located right on the Geelong waterfront. Then got the Ponds campus. Now the Ponds campus is the original campus of Deakin. They also have about 4,000 students there, and they specialise in, they've got all of our medicine courses. They also have the engineering courses, science, and they do arts and ed, teaching, things like that as well. We're actually building a hospital on the Geelong campus, which is fantastic not only for the city of Geelong, but for all the nursing, med, optometry students. Give you a good chance to get your work experience there. There is on-campus accommodation available at the Burwood campus, so actually you can see it from this window just out there. That's the accommodation, isn't it? Yep. And there's accommodation down at the Ponds campus, and there's also accommodation at the Warrnambool campus. So the Warrnambool campus has about 2,500 students, I believe, and that campus specialises in our marine biology, obviously being so close to the water and where the whales are often found. All the marine sciences are down there, but they also do offer you teaching, arts, business courses as well. So the reason I'm telling you about all of our campus, the Warrnambool campus also has accommodation. The reason I'm telling you about all of our campuses, obviously you're at the Burwood campus today, but some of our students, perhaps during your Year 12, you don't get the ATAR required. So perhaps you're just looking away to move away from home and wanting to start afresh down at another university. You want to move out and start a new life. All of these campuses you can head down and study at. The Burwood campus does have the highest ATARs and the highest entry requirements of all of the campuses. And the reason for that is that we're the most popular campus. So because we're closest to the city, we're most accessible. So the Geelong and then the Warrnambool campuses do have significantly lower ATARs and entry requirements for entry into the courses. So some students may choose to use it as a pathway option. So you might want to head down to the Geelong or the Warrnambool campus for a year and then look at transferring up to Burwood. What we do find a lot of the time is when students do that, they often love it so much down there and they've started such a great life down there that they choose to stay there for the entirety of their course. Also, a good benefit of the regional and rural campuses is that they do have smaller lectures, smaller class sizes. So something to keep in the back of your mind as you are walking around today is perhaps you would like to study at a rural or a regional campus and perhaps use that as a bit of a pathways option. I will state that it is exactly the same course taught at all of our campuses, if the course is available at each campus. It's exactly the same course and sometimes the teachers are even the same. And at the end of the day, your bachelor degree doesn't state which campus you studied at. So it's the same course, it's just lower ATARs and lower entry requirements because it is further away. We also have off-campus, so you can study off-campus if you choose to. Having said that, it's not something we recommend for our first-year students, particularly those that have going straight from high school into university, basically because it's really, really hard to study online. You have to be really dedicated and really motivated and get yourself out of your PJs and onto your laptop to log in for all of your classes and do all of your readings and things like that. And besides that, uni's a lot of fun. We like to see you on campus and getting into the university life. Off-campus, you can still study off-campus if you do choose to. Perhaps in your second, third year, it's still an option for your first year. You might like to study a unit or two off-campus just to save you coming to campus each day. So Deakin does offer over 550 different courses and they're broken down into 4 faculties. So a faculty is just a technical university word for the way that we group each of our courses. So the Arts and Education faculty obviously houses all of our arts and education courses. Business and Law faculty houses business, law, IT, management, e-business, that sort of thing. Our Science and Technology faculty houses the Architecture, Engineering, Marine Biology and the Sciences. And obviously the Health faculty houses all of our health courses, so nursing, medicine, exercise and sports science. The unique thing about Deakin is that even though our courses are all broken down into the 4 different faculties, when you get each university course has a certain number of elective units or free units, we allow our students to choose your elective units from anywhere else within the university. So sometimes at other unis, in order to study if you're studying, say, a Bachelor of Management, you'd be required to study your electives from the Faculty of Business and Law, whereas at Deakin you can choose it from anywhere else. So perhaps you're studying a Bachelor of Management, but you've always really had a passion for dance and you really think that dance has been a lifelong hobby of yours, so you might want to take a few electives in dance just to supplement your degree, have a bit of fun in there. Or you might choose to perhaps do a few units in psychology to understand the psychology of business management, things like that. So you can really choose your electives to tailor your own degree, to enhance your degree, or just for a bit of fun. Or even some students just choose their electives based on the fact that there's no exams. So we do allow our students the freedom to tailor their own degree in that respect. Now I'm actually going to pass you over to Joy in a minute just to chat about IBL and internships. The majority of our courses here do offer work placements, internships and IBL or industry-based learning years as part of your course because we really believe that getting work experience is an integral part of your university life. We also like to make sure that our courses are really up to date and are really at the forefront of the industry. So we make sure that we consult with industry professionals when we're designing our courses. So we don't write a course, put it in a drawer and just teach it year after year after year. We're making sure that it's always up to date. So especially with things like IT and even journalism these days. Obviously the world is changing so quickly at such a rapid rate, we need to make sure that we're up to date with all of that. So we do consult with the most up-to-date industry professionals. Because at the end of the day, as an employment outcome, we want to make sure that we're not only teaching you what you need to do a job, but we're teaching you what you need to get the job as well. So, Joy, can you talk to us a bit about internships and work placements that you have done?
Yes, sure thing. As I said before, I'm in my final year. I've done one internship already in public relations, and I found that myself, and I did that at the start of the year. And I did that with Deacon, so you do assessments for it, so it counts towards your degree, you get credit for it. So I did a couple of assessments and spent about 6 weeks at a public relations agency in the city. Also, I've got a journalism internship at Network 10 in 2 weeks, and Deacon approached me with that. They send out regular emails, and I wrote back and said, I'm really interested in this one. How do I get it? And went through, applied for all that, and so I'll be starting that in 2 weeks. So that's really exciting.
So our work placements, internships and industry-based learning, as Joy said, you can find them yourself, or we approach our students with opportunities. And they're both national, so within the state, within Australia, or one of our students, Casey, did her legal internship in India. So you do also have the option to do those overseas. So we do have a lot of flexible study options here at Deakin. So you can study part-time or full-time. So a full-time load is 4 units per trimester. You can do as few as 1 if you're wanting to. We also work on a trimester. You may have noticed I just said trimester instead of semester. So traditionally years are broken down into March to July, June-ish, and then August to November-ish. And then you have a big break over Christmas. At Deakin, if you choose to, you can study over the Christmas period. So effectively that would study up to a full-time course load over that break instead of having a summer holiday. And effectively you can finish a 3-year degree in 2 years. That is only available for some courses, but you can still study other subjects, your elective subjects perhaps if you wanted to over that trimester period. Also what some students do is if they happen to have failed a unit, they can make that up during the trimester break. Alternatively, some students choose to not study during trimester 2 and study over trimester 3 and take that trimester 2 period off to go and head over to Europe where it's nice and warm and travel and do all those sorts of things, or do your work experience and work placement. The trimester system is completely optional, so you can still have that Christmas break if you do want to. As I said earlier, we do offer online subjects, so you can study online for 1 or 2 or 3, even as a full-time student, if you are choosing to. We also offer 3 different types of degrees here. There's specialist, general and combined degrees. So a specialist degree is basically a degree that you enter into with a particular outcome in mind. So if you're entering into a Bachelor of Nursing, you graduate as a nurse. Whereas a general degree is perhaps for those, might suit those students who weren't really sure of what they wanted to do but sort of have an idea. A general degree offers a common first year, so everyone does the same first year, and then you have a range of different majors that are available to you. So perhaps you made some friends in the first year of your Bachelor of Commerce that you've done all the same units, and at the end of the first year you go, really never wanted to do accounting ever again. I'm going to go and major in marketing. Whereas your friend's like, oh, I actually really liked accounting. I'm going to go and become an accountant. So that same degree that you have offers a huge range of potential employment outcomes. So Joy's degree, for instance, she's doing a Bachelor of Arts, Media and Communications, but then there was a range of majors available to her within that degree. So journalism and public relations. So there'll be some journalists graduating and some public relations specialists graduating, as well as a range of other employment outcomes and other majors. We also offer combined degrees. So combined degree is just a double degree, what's commonly known as a double degree, and usually that's a specialist degree combined with a general degree. So it gives you the opportunity to tailor your own degree and enhance it if you so choose to do, and also opens the door for a huge other range of employment outcomes. So you might want to do a Bachelor of Commerce combined with a Bachelor of Law. So at the end of the day you'll have, you might be majoring in marketing or accounting or something, and then you've got your law degree as well. So you can choose which way you want it to go. Is anyone thinking about travelling overseas as part of their degree? Yep. Okay, so we do offer the opportunity to either work, travel or volunteer overseas, and you can also study for overseas for up to 2 years at a Deakin degree. After your first year, so you need to have successfully completed your first year in order to be eligible, and you do need to apply. So if you're talking about studying overseas, you apply to that particular university that we have the partnership with overseas, but then you only pay Deakin fees. You can study one or two units on or off campus overseas, and we have partnerships with over 200 universities across the world. So depending on what course you're studying, would depend on what country you're choosing to go to. Overseas, it's a great opportunity for you if you are interested in studying overseas. It's a great opportunity. It really shows employers that you've got that diverse, bit more of a skill set and an international skill set. You pay Deakin fees, as I said earlier. It gives you a great opportunity to get out, do a bit of travel while you're studying still, and you get those credits off your Deakin degree, obviously, so it doesn't take you any longer. And in terms of fees for studying overseas and actually getting overseas and living there, the government allows you to take out an extra loan of up to $5,000 against your HECS debt, so it's an interest-free loan, against your HECS debt to pay for your accommodation or your flights or whatever. And we also have a huge range of scholarships that are available to you as well. Anyone think about taking a gap year? Yep. So gap years, sometimes we find that students might be a bit worried. They want to take a gap year, but they're a bit worried that they'll be out of the loop or behind their friends, or they just will like being out in the world so much that they don't want to return to study. So at Deakin, you can take up to a 2-year gap year, and during that time you can study particular units. So there's a couple of different units that you are eligible to study during your gap year. Studying them on or off campus keeps your foot in the door, keeps your mindset in the study mindset, so that you don't get out of those good study habits. You can attend on-campus events, so we have social networking events for all of our gap year students, and you have access to all of the Deakin resources, so the library and careers advisors and job shop and things like that. So if you are thinking about taking a gap year, it's a great opportunity for you to get cut a few units off your degree, and keep your head in that mindset while you're obviously travelling or working. So we also have a huge range of support for our students here. We have study skills help, so students, they hold workshops that can help you with essay and assignment writing. They help out with effective study techniques, referencing workshops, because referencing is extremely different at a university level than it is at a high school level. I still can't wrap my head around it. So it is a really, really tricky thing. So they do offer you a range of workshops to help you out with exam prep. Have you used been to any of the workshops?
When I came to Deakin, one thing I found that was really great was first day of O Week they gave me a referencing guide, and I hadn't seen anything like that before, and like Lauren was saying, it's a bit different than your standard like bibliography in Year 12 or whatever. So they gave me a referencing guide, which I could always just have with me for lectures, assignments, everything like that, and it shows you how to reference according to each of the different referencing styles, how you reference in your essays, how you reference in the bibliography lists. I think this has it's so simple, but it's one of the most handy things, and a lot of my friends at other universities haven't got resources like this, and it's definitely been a massive help. So that was really good. Yeah.
We also have support for people with either permanent or temporary disabilities. So we've got a disability unit that you can liaise with, and they can help you out with things like reducing your study load. Maybe you went skiing over the winter break and broke your arms during your exams. We can provide you with a scribe, things like that. They can always modify any of your classes to make sure that you can still study. Please go and see, we've got the Disability Services team here today if you think that might affect you. We also have Job Shop or career consultants here. So Job Shop, if you go on a campus tour today, you'll go past the Job Shop, and basically they can offer you part-time, full-time. They advertise part-time, full-time casual work for supplementing your university income or as work experience, so they can help with a lot of work placements as well. They are also the people, they hold workshops for resume writing and interview skills, so they hold mock interviews. It says here they can help you find a job, graduate recruitment, they can help you apply for your job, things like that. They can provide you with a career mentor and a Deakin alumni to assist you with not only finding a job, but how to go about setting yourself into the workplace and working as a a career mentor partner, or having a partner to look up to and bounce things off when you are struggling during your first year of employment. We also have a huge range of other courses. I'm not going to cover all of those because they're quite extensive, but if you are having trouble settling into university life, so there is quite a big difference between high school and uni life. We offer free counselling to students, and that doesn't have to be study related counselling. It could be social, or you might just be having a bit of a hard time and want to speak to someone. They do offer free counselling. We have a bulk billed medical centre on campus with doctors and nurses. We have on-campus accommodation obviously, but we can also help you find off-campus accommodation, whether that's on your own or with a group of other students in the local area. We have a gym, which you'll see today, or you've probably already seen the YMCA. Can help you with interest-free loans, gaining an interest-free loan, helping you with rental assistance, legal advice as well. And we also do Orientation Week. And Orientation Week is a great time to come along, get familiar with the university life. There's always parties and social events happening, and you can also join the clubs and societies during this week. So clubs and societies are basically groups of like-minded people that come together and do social activities. So for instance, there may be the North Melbourne Football Club Appreciation Society, where groups of people studying all different courses come together because they support North Melbourne and they go to the football or they talk about stuff. There's serious ones like the Public Relations Society, then there's fun ones like the Darth Vader Appreciation Society, and I'm guessing they just watch Star Wars a lot. But and if you're more of a Chewbacca kind of fan, you're more than welcome to start your own club as well. So if there's nothing that suits you, then you can start your own club and we can help you finance that. Have already covered a bit of access and equity in terms of disability support, but I'll also cover the special entry access scheme. So particularly for the Year 12s in the room, I'm going to cover that a bit later and go into a bit more detail. Pathways, we have a huge range of pathways here as well. So I was talking about before studying at another campus, so studying at Geelong or Warrnambool. That's one particular pathway. So perhaps you don't get the ATAR you need to get into, say, the Burwood campus. You can study at the regional or rural campuses. You can also study at, say, MIBT, that's one of our partners and they're here today, or Box Hill TAFE, Box Hill Institute and TAFE. And what happens is you go into one of their courses, study for a year, and then are eligible, provided you get the right marks and you meet the right WAMs, to transfer across to Deacon with credits. So it doesn't necessarily take you all that much longer, or it might not take you any longer at all, but you can transfer across if you didn't get the initial score that you needed. There's other pathways available as well. So we find a lot of students looking to get into law don't quite get the 94 that you need to get in, 94, 95 that you need to get into the law course, so they go into an arts degree or a business degree, study really, really hard for 12 months and then transfer across. Other options are you can go from another TAFE that's perhaps not our partner or another university. There's a huge range of pathways available. So come December, when hopefully we all hope that you will get the score that you're after, but if something doesn't happen, if something happens during your exam period, you don't get the ATAR you're looking for, don't despair. There is always another way around, another way into your dream course. And we also offer a range of scholarships. So free money, your parents will all be keen on that. On you receiving as many scholarships as possible. There's a couple of different ways to receive scholarships. When you log into the VTEC system, so for the Year 12s in the room, there is a tick box that says, please consider me for any scholarships that I may be eligible for. Tick it, because that has just entered you in the draw for any scholarships you may be eligible for, and it took you 2 seconds. There's actually one of our ambassadors down at Geelong who ticked that box. Didn't really think anything else of it, got his offer to Deacon, thought, yep, cool, going to Deacon, carried on his way. A couple of weeks later, he got 4 letters in the mail from us, and he thought, oh my gosh, they're going to kick me out, they've made a mistake with my enrolment, that sort of thing, and he opened each of the letters up, and each of the letters was a scholarship. And so he's in a 4-year degree, and he's received $40,000. And he can obviously use that to supplement his uni, pay for his fees, pay for his books, but he can take that on a holiday if he wants to. So it just gets deposited into his bank account. Please do apply for scholarships. Take the time. It might take you a few Sunday afternoons, because there are scholarships on the website as well that aren't run through the VTEC system. So scholarships on the website that have all of their different requirements. There's also external scholarships. So your local community may offer scholarships that you can take to any university you want to. The Asthma Society offers scholarships for people with asthma. Keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled, because you never know what you may be eligible for. And they aren't necessarily academically based either. So perhaps if you've done something really good in the community, sporting clubs, if you've come from a disadvantaged background, there's all sorts of requirements and eligibility scholarships, eligibility requirements for each of the scholarships. So do just keep your eyes peeled and research into it, because there's no limit on the amount that you can receive in scholarships either. So another one of the pathways that I didn't mention before was Deacon at Your Doorstep. Now, Deacon at Your Doorstep is a program that's run at TAFEs in various areas around Victoria. And basically what it is, it's an associate degree that you study in conjunction with a TAFE diploma. And what happens is you go into your Deacon at Your Doorstep classroom, and so you'll be sitting in the audience, and I'll be the lecturer, but I'll be on the screen, and I'll actually be in Warrnambool. And that screen from Warrnambool is being broadcast all over Victoria to each of the different Deacon at Your Doorstep classes. And if you have a question, you press a button, and that lets them know that you need to ask a question. And basically it's just an interactive classroom with a distance teacher. And you can study that associate degree for, I think it's 2 years, and then you're guaranteed a place in a range of Deacon degrees with up to 18 months credit. So that's another pathway option for you, particularly if you come from a regional area like Rosebud, or there's one in Dandenong, or if you're at Warrnambool, it may be a great option for you. So Deacon at Your Doorstep are here today. Go and pick up one of their brochures and ask them a bit more information about it. Yeah, so all of the courses are there. The location. So Dandenong, Bairnsdale, Portland, Swan Hill and Wangaratta. If you have come from a regional area today, Deacon at Your Doorstep is available to you. So who knows about Uni FEES? Anyone unsure? Parents? Okay. Basically, a university costs you between $5,000 and $10,000 per year, depending on the course that you're studying. And you'll find in the undergraduate course guide all of the prices are listed there for every year. That's not like a phone bill that's going to arrive in your mail and you've got 20 days to pay it. What happens is if you receive a Commonwealth supported place, I should say university actually costs about over $20,000 a year to study at, but the government, with a Commonwealth supported place, the government heavily subsidises that and brings it down to between $5,000 and $10,000 per year. What happens then is that you're eligible to defer that payment on what's called a HECS help debt. Basically, on your first day of uni, you sign a bit of paper, and that means that you've taken out a loan with the government. It's an interest-free loan, but it does get indexed every year, so it goes up slightly. And then you don't have to worry about that payment until you've graduated and you're earning over about $50,000 a year. It's $47,500 at the moment, but it goes up every year as well. Then what happens is those fees come out slowly over time at about 5%. They take about 5% of your wage, and it comes out before tax. So you don't ever really notice that it was there to begin with, and you haven't had to pay that $30,000 up front really quite quickly. You haven't had to come up with that money. You do have the option, if you do choose to pay your fees up front, you have the option of paying it, and they give you a slight discount if you're wanting to pay it up front. So they give you, I think, a discount of 10% if you pay over $500. Otherwise, you just pay your fees when it comes out before your tax. So there's probably, you may already know someone who's paying their HECS, still paying their HECS off. It doesn't really affect you greatly because you never see it. It never hits your account. It just goes away, and the government sends you a letter every year to let you know what your balance is. It comes out about tax time every year. You do still need to pay amenities fees, so uni isn't entirely cost-free during the time that you're there. You need to pay your amenities fees, and you also still need to pay for books. So books can get quite expensive, so books can be up to $200 per book, and you need a couple of those per trimester. So you will still have to pay for things like that, but your actual course fees you can be deferred. And as I was saying earlier, if you're choosing to travel overseas, you can add an extra $5,000 onto your HECS loan. So this is just a bit of information about budgeting for uni life. So if you're going to be supplementing your income with part-time or casual work or summer work. Have a chat to DSA, Deakin Student Life, DSL, Deakin Student Life, and they're here today, and chat to them a bit more about budgeting and how they can help you with a particular budget and how they can assist you with food and rent grants if you need to. So VTEC, this is particularly relevant for the students, the Year 12 students in the audience. VTEC basically are the people that you make the application to. So they act as a mailing house. Rather than applying to RMIT, to Deakin, to Swinburne, to Monash, rather than sending one application to each, you just put one application into VTEC and they liaise with us at the universities and they distribute your preferences. Then when your exam results are known, the universities make your offer, send them to VTEC, and VTEC send them on our behalf. So VTEC aren't making the decision to let you into university or to not let you into university, but they are acting as a mailing house, basically. VTEC is now open. It opened on the 6th of August and it closes on the 28th of September at 5 p.m. Please don't leave it till the 28th of September at 4:50 p.m. to lodge your preferences. Make sure you get them in nice and early. But during that time, VTEC is open. You can log in and out as many times as you like and switch around your preferences, and I think we've got a grab of the list in a moment. The application fee is $26 at this time, provided you pay and apply by the 28th of September. After that, it goes up to $89 and to $114. So you can still apply after the 28th of September, but it will cost you a lot extra. So do it nice and early. When you do lodge your VTEC applications, it's really important that you've covered off these things here, a prerequisite and an extra requirement. So I'm taking off my Deacon hat almost, I'm talking about universities in general. You need to make sure that you have completed a prerequisite or an extra requirement before you put your application in. For example, at Deakin, in order to get into the Bachelor of Engineering, you need to have completed English and Maths at Year 12, and you need to get a study score of 20 in your exams. If you haven't done Maths, or perhaps you got a 19 in Maths, doesn't matter if your ATAR is 99.95, we cannot offer you a place in that course. So make sure that you've completed that prerequisite before you lodge your VTEC application for that course. And just because Deakin requires a 20 in Maths doesn't mean that RMIT does, or Monash does. They may require a 25, or they may not require Maths at all. So do check every institute that you're applying to as well. An extra requirement is same but different. An extra requirement is an additional thing, so a folio, an audition, an interview, or even just an extra form. So for example, the Bachelor of Creative Arts Dance at Deakin requires you to attend a workshop. If you don't attend that workshop, it doesn't matter if your ATAR is 99.95, we cannot offer you a place in that course. So do make sure, they're all listed in the VTEC guide and also in each of the undergraduate handbooks. Make sure that you've completed all of those prerequisites and extra requirements. And do check for each institute as well. When you log into the VTEC system, this is what it looks like. You have up to 12 preferences. You don't need to fill all 12 preferences. Having said that, we don't recommend that you only put one preference down. So make sure that you maybe have a few preferences, but make sure that you are actually willing to study each of these preferences that you're putting in. And also make sure that you think about your pathways. During the time up until September, treat this list like a wish list. So put your dream course on there, in the order that you're hoping to get into, because later on down the track in December, when you've got your results, you can be a bit more realistic if you need to be and change everything around again. So it's called the change of preference week, in which case, where you are eligible to change everything around. These codes down the side, all of the VTEC codes will end in either a 1, a 2 or a 3. Codes ending in a 1 are the CSP places we were talking about before, where the government heavily subsidises the cost. Courses ending in a 2 are usually from a private provider or they're a full fee paying place. So unless you're willing to pay that $20,000 up front, don't apply for courses ending in a 2. And courses ending in a 3 are for international students only. So is there any international students in the audience? Nope, excellent. So don't put any courses ending in a 3. Now moving on to something slightly different, SEAS, the Special Entry Access Scheme. This may apply to someone in the audience, Basically, the SEES program is like special consideration, and there's a range of different criteria that we offer special consideration for. It's applied through via VTEC, and it is a separate application form. So applications are open now, and they do close on the 9th of October. So if something has happened to you during your Year 12 study that you feel has made you not perform as well as you could have, then SEES may be for you. So there is a number of categories. Personal information and location. So if you come from a rural or regional background, then VTEC consider you eligible for a SEES application. If you're from non-English speaking background, if you've suffered difficult circumstances, so whether that's a personal tragedy in the family or you've injured your wrist before exams, that sort of thing, disadvantaged financial background or disability or medical condition, whether that is permanent or temporary, you are eligible for special consideration. You do, as I said, you need to make a separate application, so you may be required to gather supporting evidence for that. So if you did injure yourself, you'd be needing medical certificates and statements saying how that affected your Year 12 study. And I'm not talking, I had a flu I had a cold during Year 12, talking something that significantly impeded you. And you do need to get these things signed off by your principal or your Year 12 coordinator, your careers advisor, so do prepare them early. I should mention that your SEES application will never ever change your ATAR. It will never change that score that you are receiving. What it does is, for example, perhaps if you needed a 70 to get into a Bachelor of Commerce at Deakin and you got a 69. So you've got a 69 and your friend or another student from CBD Melbourne got a 69 as well. There is still a certain number of places available after the clearly in ATAR that's sort of a bit of a grey area. It's known as the middle band. What happens is if you've got the 69 and you've got a SEES application and somebody else from Melbourne CBD has a 69 and doesn't have a SEES application, then you'll be considered ahead of those and you'll be more likely ahead of that person and be more likely to get into the course based on your application. So basically what it does is it just flags in the system that something's happened to this student or they've come from a difficult background and they haven't performed as well as they could have. So after everything, you've finished your exams, on the 17th of December, and this does change every year slightly, you get your ATAR. So it comes at about 7 AM via text or email or log into online system, and then the next day in the mail. This is an opportunity to change your course preferences. So it's when VTEC reopens and you can go back into that list we saw earlier to change everything around. You can add new courses, you can remove old courses, you can change your preference around. So perhaps, you needed 90 to get into your course and you got 70. Chances are you're not going to be eligible for that course anymore. So it's a good time for you to be more realistic. Consider those pathways options. Also, you might have decided between exams in December that previously you wanted to be a teacher and now you really want to be a nurse. It's an opportunity to do that as well. During this time, Deakin are available. We have information sessions, we have call centre hotlines and careers counselling sessions for you to access to give you a range of options that are available to you, and you can also go back to your school. Most careers advisors are there during that time, specifically to speak to Year 12s during change of preference. After that week, so it actually closes on Christmas Eve this year, the 24th, you can have your Christmas, New Year break, things like that. Then on the 17th of January next year for VCE students, your round 1 offer comes out. Now 95% of offers are made during that time. So while you may still be eligible for a second round offer, which come out on the 6th of February, only 5% of offers are made, so chances are slim. You do have 3 options during this time when you get your letter of offer. You can accept your offer, you can reject it, or you can defer it. So we do recommend that you accept every offer that you get. You will only get 1 offer, but we recommend that you accept that offer. So perhaps you got an offer. So remember before I was saying you must make sure before you put in your VTEC preferences that you are only putting in courses that you're willing to study. This is why. So we recommend that you accept your offer. So by accepting it, we'll send you some information. You'll need to come to campus and show up in person and enrol. Perhaps you'll be overseas during that time. You are eligible to send a proxy in most cases, so send your mum or your dad or someone that you trust to come and enrol on your behalf, but there is information that you need to send along with them. So give us a call during that time if you think you will need to send a proxy to find out what supplementary information they will need to bring along with them. But accepting your offer is simple as showing up to campus and enrolling. If you wanted to reject your offer, so we've offered you nursing and you're like, oh, I actually really don't want to be a nurse, I don't like blood, I'm not going to take up this offer. You don't have to do anything, but we'd appreciate it if you gave us a call. And you can also defer your offer. So give us a call and fill out the deferral paperwork. You can defer for up to 2 years. If you do accept your offer, perhaps you were made an offer for your 4th preference, you are still eligible to receive an offer in the second round for either your 1st, 2nd or 3rd preference. So we recommend you accept your offer even if you're still hoping that you might still get a better offer, so you're still eligible to do that. So some important dates, obviously 6th of August is when everything is opened and the 28th of September is when VTEC closes. CEES closes on the 9th of October. On the 17th, your VCE results do come out and your change of preference week begins, and then it closes on Christmas Eve. Then if you're doing IB, then your results come out on the 4th of Jan, and your round 1 offers follow that on the 17th, and then round 2 is on the 6th of February. Where else can you get help today? Go and see the FEES Scholarships and Financial Assistance stand. There is a Centrelink. They don't have their own stand. They are in with another one of the stands, the DSA stand or the DSL stand. Go on a campus tour. I really recommend you join one of our students on a campus tour. And you can also attend the general information stand to pick up an undergraduate course guide if you don't already have one of those. And then head into the central information area where you can pick up more information. Talk to current students studying the course that you're interested in. Talk to the people that run the courses. Ask them any questions about graduate outcomes and about work experience and about the type of subjects that you will study during your time with us. Does anyone have any questions? No? Yes?
When it comes to first round offers, what's the time frame for accepting the offers?
We will send you information. It's generally towards the end of January, start of February that you'd need to, each course and each faculty has a different enrolment day, so we'll send you information during that time. So it'll be January, late Jan, early Feb that you'd need to accept the offer.
A few days between when it's offered and when that offer doesn't exist anymore because you haven't responded.
Yep. Yep, so you might get an offer for the Bachelor of Commerce and we'll say you have to come and enrol on the 6th of February, and everybody in the Bachelor of Commerce comes and enrolls on that day. Any further questions? Okay, I'll let you get back out. I'll hang around for another 10 minutes or so if you did have any questions you wanted to come up and see. Otherwise, just head back out and down the stairs to the central info area.